Hey guys, here we are. We are going to talk about the quotient property, but I want to talk about a few other rules. Power of a product rule. So I don't believe you have any of these on your assignment, but if you do, you have X and Y, they're variables that represent two different numbers. So it's X and Y to the M power, which means X to the M power times Y to the M power. And here's an example for you to follow. We're going to talk about this one, the power of a quotient rule. This is when you have a fraction to a exponent, then you take the numerator and you take it to that power and the denominator to the same power. That M looks very much like they're multiplying. That should be like a little m. Okay, it's like a little m. For example, 3/4 squared would be the same as 3 squared and 4 squared, which would end up being like this. So looking at this example is good. The quotient rule, this one right here is one of my favorites to teach. So I hope you're listening. Buckle up. Here we go. So when you have the same number, notice it's an X over an X. It's not X and Y, it's X over an X, and they have a different exponent. You are basically subtracting. You get the same X, but you're subtracting their exponents. For example, if I have 7 to the 9th power and 7 to the 6th power, that's like saying 7 to the 9 minus 6 power, which is 3. And then I gave you this beautiful example of 9 sevens, because that's what 7 to the 9 power means, 9 sevens. And I have 6 sevens down here. And because that's what that means. So when you have a fraction, anytime you have a fraction, let's go to my paper over here. If I have a 5 over 5, that's the same as a 1. If I had a 20 over a 20, that's the same as a 1. Correct? If I had X over X, that's the same as a 1. So when I come back to this problem, these two sevens make a 1. These two sevens make a 1. These two sevens, you get the point? So all these sevens make 1s. And what am I left with? 3. So it's 7 to the 3rd power. That's how this works. So let's take a look at your homework, because your homework is a little trickier than that example. Let's take a look at number 1. That is 7r times r. That is 4 r's. Correct? That means I'm going to cross these two out like that, right? And I'm going to end up with 7 over r squared. Let's do another one. Here we have this one. 4r times r over r times r times r. These turn to 1, and I'm left with 4 over r. If I come over to this one, I have 3x, 4 times x. I only have one of these x's cancel, and I have 3 over 4x. You see how this is working, guys? I want you to give it a try. Let's see here. If I come down, let me see if there's any hard ones I can tackle. Let's tackle this one right here. What is 8 divided by 2? Well, let's get there. That's going to be 8 times n times n, correct? And that's going to be 2 times n times n. What happens here? These two n's turn to 1. And then what is 8 divided by 4? I'm sorry, I gave you the answer. What is 8 divided by 2? 4. That's it. That's your answer.